I'm Douw Steyn. I'm a professor of atmospheric science at UBC, and for the last 30 years or so I have been studying air quality in the lower Fraser Valley. I've been studying the meteorological conditions that are important for air quality in the valley. I've been studying the evolution of air quality in this valley. I have been studying how we measure and monitor the air quality in this valley, and I've been involved in a number of large field studies in which we deployed instruments all over the valley in order to understand the meteorology and the air quality of the valley. Historically, the Fraser Valley has had exceedances of the health standards for ozone ever since the late 1970s. This valley is a coastal location, and it has in the hinterland large mountains. The valley is about 100 kilometers deep and about 100 kilometers wide at the mouth. In summertime, we have warm land surfaces and a relatively cool ocean surface, and because of this contrast, we have sea breezes which blow into the valley and bring pollutants from the western side of the valley eastward towards the communities in the eastern part of the valley, particularly Abbotsford, Chilliwack, and Hope. In summertime, when the temperatures are warm, the atmosphere undergoes a sequence of chemical reactions. The reactions are between substances emitted in the western part of the valley from automobiles, from industry, from all human activities. And those substances come in two classes. They're volatile organic compounds and oxides of nitrogen. These substances react together in the atmosphere under the influence of sunlight and form ozone as a chemical pollutant. This pollutant has severe health effects on young and old, but particularly on heavily exercising people and on people with existing respiratory illnesses. The ozone that forms in this chemical reaction is trapped horizontally by the sides of the valley walls, by the North Shore Mountains to the north and the Cascades to the south, and then trapped vertically by a temperature inversion, which is an atmospheric feature that we find every warm, sunny summer's day. And this is a structure of temperature in the atmosphere which prevents the pollution from escaping vertically. So the pollutants are trapped in the valley. This trapping obviously makes conditions worse. Now, over the past 2 decades, those emissions reductions have landed us in a place where, even though the western parts of the valley are not as severely polluted as they used to be, the eastern parts of the valley, that is communities from Abbotsford through Chilliwack to Hope, are now more polluted than they have been in the past. And this is clearly evident in the statistics of monitored pollution. That pollution has gotten more severe in the eastern parts of the valley. The strategies for achieving these reductions are something that we are currently researching at UBC using computer models of emissions, of meteorology, and of pollution. And we hope, through the understanding we will achieve of air pollution in this valley, through those modeling studies, to be able to arrive at a point where we can quite precisely say how our emissions must change in order to improve air quality for all citizens of this valley. In response to this degraded air quality, the Greater Vancouver Regional District, and now more recently Metro Vancouver, have mounted a series of air quality management plans. Those plans have been designed to reduce the emissions of substances which cause this ozone pollution. Those air quality management plans have been amazingly successful. They've resulted in about a 35% reduction in the total mass of emissions of substances that go towards forming ozone. It is important to realize that the air quality management plans are the legislative instruments that lead to the reduction in emissions. But in reality, the reduction in emissions are caused by the changes in actions of people in the valley, by buying less emitting automobiles, by changing our commuting habits, by cycling more, by walking by foot more, by commuting in non-polluting ways, and simply by changing many small aspects of our lifestyle. Those changes are really important, and they're an amazing achievement of the citizens and residents of this valley. So the next challenge for us, the citizens in this valley, is to understand how our pollution emissions must change in order to have not only improvements in the western part of the valley, but also in the eastern parts of the valley.